Yo, what is up guys, Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So this weekend has been a quiet weekend of boxing, but I guess like the main fight of the weekend was Sebastian Fundora defending his WBC and WBO super welterweight titles. Now, unfortunately, he was in there with a very low-ranked opponent in Chordale Booker. Chordale Booker went into this fight 23-1. His only defeat prior coming by the hands of Austin Ammo Williams, and in that fight, he got knocked out in a round. Now, Austin Ammo Williams is a decent fighter, but, you know, nothing crazy special or anything like that. So, you know, going into this one, I really wasn't expecting much from Chordale Booker. A bit of a cherry pick from Sebastian Fundora. Tune-up fight, whatever you want to call it, and that's how it played out, really. Sebastian Fundora, of course, we all know he's a bit of a freak show. 6'5", 6'6" at super welterweight. He looks like a praying mantis in there. Really freaky guy to look at, but you know, he is an exciting fighter, and that size alone makes him a very difficult opponent for anybody. Also, for such a tall, gangly guy, he's actually very good at punching on the inside, shortening his punches up. And we saw that in this fight, man, against Chordale Booker. The size difference, as is the case with all Sebastian Fundora fights, was crazy. Chordale Booker is 5'9", and he looked like a midget next to Fundora. And yeah, Fundora really just kind of walked him down. Of course, this was a battle of two southpaws. Fundora came out for round one, primarily trying to walk Booker down behind his jab, and he was doing that. He wasn't exerting too much energy in round one. Booker was trying to throw back in flurries, primarily with his overhand left, and he landed a couple of shots here and there on Fundora early doors. He landed a few shots, but you could tell that Booker really had no power to speak of, and whatever he threw at Fundora could just walk through. After the first round, Fundora, you know, continues that pressure, starts to mix his sort of uppercuts into the equation, and he was catching Booker quite regularly with those shots. Booker in this fight was kind of fighting in a bit of a crouch, and that enabled Fundora to find those uppercuts. He would also lean into Fundora, leaning on the inside again. That allowed Fundora to land those uppercuts. And yeah, as this fight played out, you just saw the size, the strength, and the power differential really play a toll. And yeah, like for a couple of rounds, Booker was trying to keep Fundora off of him. Again, Booker was kind of fighting in like an ambush type of style. You know, he'd throw like a 2-3 punch combination here and there, try to reset, that sort of thing. But again, he had no power on his punches to really make a difference. And, you know, by the end of the third round, Fundora was really starting to get through, land some hurtful punches. And I felt that Booker was already starting to panic, and round 4 was where this fight ended. You could see that Booker was breathing through his mouth. The jab from Fundora was already causing swelling. And in round 4, Fundora then lands like a series of left uppercuts that mash up the face of Chordale Booker. He also lands some wide looping left hands around the side. Booker gets hurt, and eventually he's kind of like bundled over onto the ground. The referee called it a knockdown. I'm not sure it should have been, but I actually think that call probably helped Chordale Booker because it gave him a momentary rest, but it wasn't enough. Fundora jumped right back on him, landed a series of shots when Booker was backed up against the ropes. The shots were getting through. He couldn't defend himself. He was getting rocked. And yeah, the referee jumped in to wave it off, and rightfully so. Booker was overmatched, and he was done, as far as I'm concerned. Disappointing opponent for Sebastian Fundora, quite frankly. You know, Chordale Booker, as of right now on BoxRec, I know it's not perfect, but he's ranked 79 in the world, to put things into perspective. Got to be doing better. When you're a unified champion, you have to be doing better. I know Fundora hasn't fought since like March last year. He's been out of a ring, but Like, if you want a tune-up, surely there's better guys than Chordale Booker. I mean, on the undercard, Terrell Gausha fought a prospect called Elijah Garcia. Apparently, Terrell Gausha got robbed, but Terrell Gausha would have been a much better opponent for Sebastian Fundora. At least he's been in and around world level, has shown a good chin, etc., you know? But yeah, Chordale Booker, horrible opponent. But, you know, Fundora dealt with him like he should have done, so there is that. What next for Fundora? I mean, over at the PBC, they've been talking about a potential Errol Spence fight for a long time. Maybe they're going to re-examine that fight. I would take Fundora to beat Spence at this stage. I think Spence is washed. So, it's a money fight, but I don't really care about that bout, to be honest with you. I'd rather see Sebastian Fundora fight Bakram Murtazaliev, who is also with the PBC, and I think he's the IBF champion, I want to say. Murtazaliev, of course, recently ran through Tim Tszyu in much more impressive fashion than Sebastian Fundora did. That'd be a great fight. Murtazaliev versus Sebastian Fundora. That'd be a great fight. Xander Zayas, of course, would be a good fight. Sergey Borodchuk, good fight. Virgil Ortiz, good fight. You know, there's fights out there for him. Charles Conwell, good fight. There's fights out there for Fundora. Even Jesus Alejandro Ramos, who fought on the undercard, good fighter, good opponent. You know, Fundora has options. So hopefully he takes an opponent worth talking about in his next fight. But anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy. Peace.